Hello and welcome to another Warriors Thoughts. It's been a while since I did one of these, and the main reason is I just haven't found a game that I thought was good enough to date. It's a game that is extremely long, or like I was going to do one for Wolfenstein, but then I ended up saying nah, not really worth doing it in all honesty, because I was able to beat the game in a day or two, so it wasn't too bad. But a game that I thought I'd do it on for everyone who's going to be picking it up tomorrow, since I managed to get it a day or two early, is WatchDogs. Yes, I got WatchDogs a day or two early. I'm not going to say where, but I did. And I've been playing it since about Saturday. So I'm only for about 2 days straight right now. There will be no gameplay footage in here or anything. This is just merely my first thoughts, so hopefully this is okay. I might wait until midnight to upload it though. But yeah, I wanted to give my initial thoughts on it quickly. Firstly, for those who don't know, Watch Dogs has been one of the most hyped games for the past year. It got delayed back in November, I think? Around about when the PS4 came out to this month, for reasons that were never fully explained. Probably just some issues they had with the game or something like that. These things happen in gaming, in all honesty. But it's a game that's been hyped. It won last year's E3 Game of the Year because it was one of the biggest surprises that there was. People were not expecting a game like this. And I won't lie, it interested me. It really did. I wouldn't have picked it up if it didn't interest me. And I'm enjoying it. Like, firstly, it's a hacking game. Like, you play Aiden Pierce, who is a hacker who has the ability to basically control near enough everything in the city of Chicago. At the touch of a mobile phone, because he's a hacker, and he's also he gets in touch with other hackers throughout the story, here or there, and you can control things from gates to doors to cameras to a whole bunch of other stuff. Anything that's connected to the network. I think it's what they called again, CTOS. This company has networked everything. I do mean fucking everything. I'm very surprised how much they've networked. And it's very interesting. I'm not going to lie to have that concept, because I have the course I was doing in my university did involve a little bit of ethical hacking, so I do understand the concept of it and the idea of like a network. A concept in hacking is this: every network, no matter how strong a network you make it, there's always one weakness, no matter what, and all it takes is exploiting that one weakness, and you have access to the whole network. And that's really what they do in Watch Dogs. Is they've gained access to the entire network with one solution. And it's very interesting. I like that. From someone from like me, my point of view, as I know a little bit about this stuff, it's very interesting to see this. It's not realistic in the slightest, I'll tell you that right now, but it's kind of interesting to see this point of view of it. But besides that, it's an interesting topic to maybe talk about in my review or do a video on. And I wanted to talk about this. I am enjoying the game, I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of fun. It's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, the story in it hasn't gripped me yet. I've just finished the first act of it, and I'm starting the second act of it. And I'm gonna be honest, the story isn't interesting me a lot. Like, there are some aspects to it that are interesting me. I can't really say much without spoiling it, so I won't do that. But let's just say I'm not hooked yet. Or I might not get hooked at all, but this, in all honesty, from the story's just not interesting so far. It's an interesting concept, but I don't want to say this type of story, because that's also a kind of a spoiler, and I don't want to say that, but it's a story I've seen 1,000 times before. I'm not going to lie. You've taken the concept of hacking and added a story that's been told 1,000 times, in all honesty. And yeah, every story is told 1,000 times over. It's how you telling it, but the way they're telling it is been done before as well, I'm not going to lie. And one little thing that is bugging me is the voice actor of Aiden Pierce has decided to adopt the Christian Bale Batman voice. It's not as bad as that, but it's one of those gravelly voices that's difficult to understand at some points, which I'm like, why the fuck did they go with that? And that's kind of taken me out of it. At one point, he's with a character, and it sounds like he says, I'm going to skin you, but he says everything's going to be okay. It's difficult to understand at some points. And I'm like, oh, why did they go with this guy? He's good. You can feel the emotion, but it's the Christian Bale Batman voice that's I don't get why voice actors do that. I get some voice say, oh, it needs to be gravelly, but gravelly is not, oh, it's understand me. It's not that. Gravelly is, I can't do gravelly, unfortunately. I'm not a voice actor. I'm not a beginner, is best term. I dabble in it. That's about it. But the voice actor just he shouldn't have done the Christian Bale voice. He should have toned it down a little bit. I don't know if they changed the voice actor, because the voice from the previous builds of the game that I saw sounded different, but it could be different. It could have been a different voice actor, or it could be the same one that just changed his voice a little bit. But yeah, the voice actors, so far the rest of the voice acting cast in the game is actually really good. It's just the main character, the one who's got the Batman voice, and I don't like it. It takes me out of the game. It's just, as I'm struggling. I'm not struggling to play it. I do want to play it, but I do play it to only for like maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time, take an hour or two of break, and then go back to it. Compared to other games in which I just sit down and play it until I get tired. Like I can easily have a 12-hour gaming session with various games, but Watch Dogs I can't do that because it just isn't gripping me that much with the story. And it's now, don't get me wrong, the one thing that is good about it is the hacking mechanic in the game. I say, especially during chase sequences. If you're going through the game and you're being chased by the police or by enemies, you use the hacking thing to like disrupt traffic, raise roadblocks, and you can destroy the cars and get out of there pretty quickly if you know the streets pretty well. It's kind of interesting to do that. And I like that mechanic. It's really, really good, but it's a little broken at some points, I'm not going to lie, but I guess that's the whole point of it. There is also another thing, like, in the game, they've referenced this in there, but your character is called the Vigilante. Like, he's known as the Vigilante in the cell because he stops crime, basically, and you do have a little bit of a mini meter, which goes from Vigilante to probably somewhere like Menace or something like that. I've never had it down to the Menace because I've always been doing the Vigilante options, which is basically stopping crime. Throughout the game, you'll get crime warnings, and you pull out your phone and you profile people. Like, you know everything about everyone basically in this game, and you just put just a wee crosshairs across their head, and you'll be able to find out wee snippets about them, like this person had an abortion at 15, this person does drugs, this person searches for hentai. I am not shitting you, that is actually something that comes up, and you have to do the criminal thing to analyze when this person's going to be, like, this criminal's going to attack this person, or this person's going to be attacked. And they add that little thing to it that's actually kind of cool, and that's what I've been doing. And you have to be known as the Vigilante to help do that. However, they also add a little thing in there that you can't drive around like GTA running over civilians, because if you kill civilians, that decreases your Vigilante rating and puts you more closer to the, I don't want to say evil, but it's the best way to put it, the not so good option. So yeah, if you injure civilians or kill civilians, or even injure or kill police officers, you're more of a menace than you are a vigilante. As a vigilante, you're stopping criminals and bad guys, not cops doing their job and civilians. So it's an interesting thing to do, in my opinion, to do that, where you have to be good, but you can't just go around killing people willy-nilly because you'll be bad. And I like that. I kind of like it. It's rather interesting that they're doing it, and I kind of always try and drive a little bit more carefully than I usually do in other games, unless I'm in a chase sequence in which at least 20 civilians die, and then I have to go and do a whole bunch of crime things to actually say, hey, I may have killed these 20 people, but hey, I saved these other 40. And it's kind of cool. I like the idea of that. It's something that I think any kind of superhero, any kind of game that involves kind of like a vigilante system should do, that if you're trying to be the good guy, you don't kill civilians. That's it. And I kind of like that. There are also many games in the game. There's chess, which I suck at. Cards. There's a whole bunch of mini games. It's basically GTA with hacking. There's a shit ton of mini games, and I suck at chess. Even on easy mode, I suck at it. I always sucked at it. But yeah, there's plenty of other mini games, including small hacking mini games here or there. But I am having fun with it. Now, there is the aspect of online, which is there are online races, online death matches, and these are done through hacking, through your phone and hacking and all that. But there's also one other thing called invasion, which if you're on, which other players can invade your game and actually steal data from you. And it'll say you're being invaded, and you have to go and find this person in this various genre. They have to hide themselves. You find them, they kill them. I don't like it. You can turn it off, but I only find it fair that I leave it on to judge the game fairly. The only thing, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't have fun with it. As soon as it comes up with this invasion thing, I can't do any other mission until I do this invasion thing, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Fine, let's go walk around for like 20 minutes and just let this person steal my data and leave. and you get some kind of online ranking and all that, and I don't like it. I don't like the online part of it so far. It has given me the option to go and invade other people or retaliate to invaders. I've never really done it because I just don't like it. I really don't. And plus, anytime I have tried to invade, the person who's invaded me says, you can't invade this person, they've turned it off. So this person who's invaded me, got my data, left, went to the option and turned off their invasion thing so I couldn't retaliate. And I'm like, what the... I hate it. It's really tedious. I don't like it. They could have implemented it a little bit better. And plus, it's just... It's difficult to do. Like, I've been invaded a few times so far, and I have found 2 of the people who have invaded me, and they've always got away, even though I've shot them in the head. I don't like it, and admittedly, I've actually completely walked past people who were invading me and didn't even notice them because they're disguised as civilians in the hidden dark corners. I can't bloody see them, even though my phones went over them. So I don't like the online aspect of it. I'm probably going to turn it off in all honesty, but I might give it one last try for another day or 2 and actually see if I enjoy it. And I honestly don't enjoy it. If you follow me for any length of time, you know I don't like playing online. I don't like multiplayer games. They've never appealed to me. It's just something that I don't enjoy. But I definitely see what they were going with the whole hacking theme and all that, and having that kind of thing in the game. I get what they were going with. I think they could have implemented it a little bit better, but at least they give you the option to turn it off, which I probably am eventually, because it's just absolutely ridiculous. I do not like it. It's tedious in my opinion, and I don't care about the bonuses it gives me, because you'll get money or data. I don't care about that. Throughout the game, you'll fucking get so much money and points. Like, literally within the first 2 hours of the game, I had like 40 grand, and that's just going around hacking people's bank accounts, which you just do by walking past them, and it'll say your bank account, you hack it, and you get money. And if you're lucky, you'll get a rich bank account and get thousands. So I definitely see the appeal of it for some people. I don't like it. I'm going to leave it on for one more, maybe another session or 2, and see if I enjoy it. But if I'm going to be honest, I do not so far. I really don't. And I get what they were going for, but it's not appealing in the slightest to me. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm trying to think of other things I can say about the game. I'm trying to think of other things about it that is. There is side missions in the game called Fixer Contracts, and most of them entail chasing down people, killing people, or chase sequences. That's mostly what it entails. Chase sequences, which I suck at, but you get money for them, and they're fun to do. They're enjoyable. But the game is a bit of a disappointment so far. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly was not that hyped for this game, because I don't get that hyped for games. The only game I'm extremely hyped for right now is Dragon Age Inquisition. WatchDogs, I was like, it looks interesting. I'll probably pick it up, and I did pick it up. And I'm a little disappointed so far, but I am enjoying it. It's just there's some interesting ideas that they haven't implemented yet. And I don't want to say that they've done something wrong, but I'm like, they're alright. It's alright so far. I don't know if it'll be worth it yet. I am having a bit of fun. It's just the story that I'm not liking that much so far, which for me is a big aspect of a game. As a story has to be good for me to enjoy it. And so far the story is predictable. The character of Aiden Pierce is just like, I've seen this character 1,000 times, and they've not done anything interesting or new with him. He's the standard guy who, he doesn't act, he thinks before he acts, but I'm trying to think of the best way to describe him. Basically, Batman without the discipline, in a best way I can describe him. So I think they would just try to create another version of Batman, but it's alright so far. As I said, I will wait and see if the story picks up, as I've only finished the first act, and I don't know how long the story is. I don't check this online, because I like to go unspoiled as much as possible. But I am enjoying it, and I can't say whether or not I would recommend it. But I know a lot of people out there are probably already going to pick the game up, or have already got their hands on a leaked copy of it. I am having fun with it, but I am not. It's a slight disappointment so far. I was expecting a little bit more, but I'm not too badly disappointed, because I don't get hyped for a lot of games anymore. So I don't know what else I can say. I also don't. I'm trying to think of anything else. I would say that if you're going to pick this up, do understand that the story is not as strong as it was laid out to be. This game has been overhyped, I'm not going to lie, and I would say lower your expectations. I'm going to say that right now. Don't have them too high because it won't live up to it so far. I don't know, maybe later in the story it will pick up and it will live up to it. But so far, I would definitely say maybe lower your expectations. There is a lot of content in the game. I will say that there are a ton. There are a lot of side missions. There's the online aspect if you want to get into that. There are investigations and a ton of collectibles around this game. I am not kidding. There are collectibles up the fucking ass here so far. And I've collected a couple of them so far. So there is content in the game. But at the same time, the quality is a little bit less than I was expecting. But I would say lower your expectations if you're going to pick it up. I'm going to say that right now because it might not live up to the hype. I'm just saying. Other than that, I am having fun with it, and maybe once the DMCA is up, I will stream a little bit of it tomorrow after I get back from the dentist. But other than that, I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I say, lower your expectations a little bit. As always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now. Mwah. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you want to help this channel out in any way, shape or form, you can hop over to my Patreon page and donate a minimum of $1 a month to help towards resources for the channel, licenses, equipment and other resources. And hopefully you will consider at least having a little look at my Patreon page, which is linked in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.